great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of need. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I am not in Syracuse anymore. Hello, my friends. This is January 7th, and it's episode 738 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? Hina, thanks for setting everything up. I really appreciate it. Hina will be running the boards and checking out the comments and everything. Huli is on assignment. I think she's got a meeting or something. This is our first full week back after the holiday. How's everybody doing? I'll show you the view here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic here in a minute, but it's very nice to be out of the snow. The chances of everything going as right as they went. Oh, look at Rich. Rich is in Jamaica for the first time in a long time. How about that? That's a good deal. I was in Syracuse, New York in a blizzard on Saturday. Somehow Delta was able to get us out of there to Detroit. Nor and I had to run for our plane to St. Louis. We made it. Then we hung out with the boys on Sunday. And then on Monday morning, Amani and I got up at 3 a.m. to go to the airport. And it took them 2 hours to get us out of there. Our flight left 2 hours late. But again, Delta got it done. We had the first flight out of St. Louis. And then the best part was we missed our connecting flight in Atlanta. But I had stupidly scheduled us to fly into Santo Domingo instead of Punta Cana. So here I am in Dominican Republic for the next couple days. And it sure beats the snow. We got 8 or 9 inches and a bunch of ice in St. Louis. So it's nice to be here instead of there. How are you guys doing? I see Carolyn's in Leavenworth, Kansas. I think there's a big military prison. That's the only thing I know about Leavenworth, Kansas. And she's reporting that it's cold. Is it cold for you guys? It's not cold here. It's about, 78, sunny. Very nice. I'll show you guys in a little bit. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. I'll be here for the next hour. I should be doing a show in the afternoons today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Friday, I will take off and just hang out by the beach. All right, let's go first to Hannah. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Okay, so I'm actually with my husband now. So I wrote out everything I wanted to say just so I make sure everything is said properly.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm currently living in Oman with my husband. He's Omani. We've been married for a year and a half. I graduated high school at 17, and I started college at 17 as well. And when I met him, he was on an F1 visa, doing an international student, and we got married in Washington, D.C. when I was 17. I'm now 18. And at the time, my husband was receiving treatment because he had ulcerative colitis. And then, so after we got married, we moved to Oman, thinking that the medical care here they would be able to treat him. So in the U.S., they had the correct treatment for him, but here they don't have the proper treatment. So we want to move back to America. And we also, there's more job opportunities in America as well. But in May, I want to visit my family, so May through July. And my husband also wants to attend his college graduation. So we want to do that on a tourist visa, not a green card. And okay, so my first question is, could my age, at the time of our marriage, be an issue since I was 17?
Was a marriage legal in Washington, D.C. for a 17-year-old?
Yeah, I think it was for 16 and up.
How old are you now?
I'm 18.
How old is he?
24.
I think the first question you want to ask me is, Jim, what are the chances of what are the chances of my husband getting a visit visa to the United States? I think those chances are relatively low. I don't think they're going to want to give him a visit visa because he came on a student visa and married someone and is now married to a U.S. citizen. So when you're married to a U.S. citizen and you complete a DS-160 and you say that you're married to a U.S. citizen and that she's living with you in Oman, all of which you'd have to disclose because they'd want to know your address and his marriage status and all that stuff. I think the chances of him getting a visit visa to the United States are extremely low.
Is that because they're like, are they assuming he's gonna have like immigrant intent or something?
Exactly why.
Okay. So, well, we want to go like move in maybe 2026.
Mhm.
I just want to visit my family in May through July. So what would you recommend me to do? Is it possible I could do like expedite his green card for a medical reason because of his ulcerative colitis?
No, that's not going to work. And right now there's nothing to expedite because you haven't filed anything.
Yeah, I'm saying like if I apply for a green card, like would you recommend expediting or what would you recommend us to do?
So I don't know if you've watched the show very much. I'm not a big believer in expediting. I think it's all BS. I think most of the time they don't expedite. So, and I don't think this would be a case that they would expedite on. I think they're going to I think you guys made some real big mistakes. I think leaving the United States as a man from a predominantly Arab country married to someone who is 17, now 18, I think they're going to give him all kinds of hell at the embassy. And I think it's going to be very difficult for him to come back even after the process completes. Plus we got Trump coming in and now we've got, the Muslim ban probably coming. So I think there's a lot that's stacked against you guys, but nothing's going to happen fast.
Okay, well, the thing is with Trump, yeah, I did see that he was going to try to make it harder, but with Oman and Trump actually has like multiple investments in Oman, like multiple building investments and stuff like that.
It wasn't one of the countries on the Muslim ban last time, so you might not necessarily have to worry about something. But what I'm telling you is that every embassy in a Middle Eastern, and I became Muslim 30 years ago, so most of my clients are from the Middle East, right? And Arab men, so I deal with this all day long. What I'm telling you is that this process, even if Trump wasn't in office, that this process of bringing your husband back to the United States is going to take at least 2 years, if not longer.
Oh my God.
He's not coming back with you on that visit. You can come, but he can't. It was a huge mistake to leave the United States after you got married without thinking everything through, because it's a lot easier to leave than it is to come back.
Well, okay, the thing is with that is when he was on his F1 student visa, when we got married, he came to Oman and took his mom with him on a tourist visa so she could be there for our wedding. And they accepted her within a week because someone in his family has like close ties or he's in the government, and he was able to expedite her very quickly, like within a week, to get her a visa.
Well, so then maybe he can help your husband. But the thing is, you got to be really, really careful with how you answer every single question, because he might end up waving a magic wand with a wonderful friend or relative in the government that helps him get his visa. But you need to make sure that nobody's saying that he's not married or he doesn't have immigrant intent or he's not coming to stay, right? So you really need to be, I think the chances of a regular person getting a visit visa to the United States on these facts are very low. If you're telling me he's got some magic connection that maybe makes it possible, then I'm like, okay, but be careful, because him getting that visit visa might actually be a problem later on down the line if somebody checks the wrong box.
Okay. So you're guessing like 2 years. You don't think it would like be anything lower than that? We're aiming for a year to a year and a half. That's what we're hoping to happen.
Here's what I'm thinking. Right now, it's taking 2 years, and Trump's only going to make that slower, not faster.
Okay. So is there anything you would just like recommend, or what like advice would you give?
Yeah, get the I-130 on file and get started.
Okay. Anything you want to ask? Also, we also have joint like we have travel records proving, and we have marriage certificates from the U.S. and Oman like certified. So that would make the process easier. I don't know.
I would research too whether that marriage is valid.
Yeah, we got it notarized in Oman.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. The question is whether it was valid. Did your parents have to issue a consent notice?
Just my mom.
Okay, so it's probably valid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck. Keep us posted, Hannah.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. That was a good call, Hina. Note that one. Let's go to Oscar. Hola, Oscar. You're on mute.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. I just had a couple of quick questions to do with a couple of mistakes that I noted after I submitted all of the paperwork. I
Okay.
think they're minor mistakes, but I just wanted to see what your opinion is.
Go for it.
Okay. So the first one is in the form 864. There's a question that asked if we were required to file taxes for the last 3 years. We submitted the taxes, but we didn't notice that we didn't click either yes or no for that question.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay, awesome. And then there's another one in, I think it's in the 485. That is about if I've ever been affiliated with any clubs or organizations or anything like that. And for some reason I clicked no, but then I listed clubs, like it's stuff like volunteering things or church, kind of random things like that. But I put no in the answer. So I don't know if that is something that I would want to correct.
No.
Okay.
You can correct it. You can correct it, but I wouldn't worry about it. I would just wait to see if you get an interview. If you have an interview, just tell them there. But it's going to be sort of obvious to everybody, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's a pretty small mistake, and then I provide evidence of the opposite. So, okay. Sure. And one last question. I think we submitted a lot of evidence, especially for our I-130. But over the holidays, we were able to visit family. I was able to get in my partner's insurance plan and kind of things like that we were thinking about submitting. We were just wondering if it could be the case where we submit too much evidence, because I feel like we submitted a lot of evidence with the very first thing.
Yeah, I would just sit tight, see if you get an RFE or if you get an interview notice, and then just bring that stuff there.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think that's everything I had. Thank you so much.
Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. That was Oscar. Let's go to Matt. Hello, Matt.
Hello, how are you, Jim?
I'm great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I've just got two quick questions. Just for context, my husband and I met while we both lived in London. We were both there on visas, and we
Hello, jolly old London. Yep. cheerio. Yep.
Such an awesome place. We decided that we were gonna. I'd lived over there for 11 years. He's from Brazil. He lived over there for 2 years, and we decided we were gonna come to the U.S.
You're the U.S. citizen?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
So we got married, and we did it. My family lives in Utah, and we didn't know what we were gonna do, so we were just gonna come and stay with my family when we moved back. So we learned that Utah, you can get married online, which was perfect because we have family on multiple different continents, and so they could all kind of participate, which was great. So anyway, got married. We waited as long as we possibly could, and then our visas ended, and so we decided he had to go back to Brazil. I've come back to the US. We updated our addresses, updated all our contact details on for the I-130s. But I was curious.
So time out. When you filed the I-130, you were using the addresses in England?
Yes, we have all of our joint accounts, everything, banks, water bill, everything in the UK.
Right. Okay. And then how long after you filed the I-130 did you guys move?
We filed February 6, 2024, and we moved in mid-May.
Okay.
So we got everything updated, but I'm curious if we should submit us a new, I guess, a fresh I-130A for him.
No.
Okay. Because they'll see right from the I-130 that there's been updates.
What did you do for your address on the I-130? Did you use an American address?
Well, it was the UK originally, but then yes, I changed it to. I'm now in Arizona. I changed it to the address in Arizona where we're both on the lease. So I also uploaded the new lease as well that shows that this is where he's eventually going to live once he gets here.
Okay. This has been made a lot messier than it needed to be, but that's okay.
Okay.
I don't think our office has ever filed an I-130. Maybe we have for a situation like this where the U.S. citizen is located outside the United States without using the Utah address or an Arizona address to point the case to, because right now your case is sort of untethered from where you used to be.
Yes.
And I know they deal a lot with email, and that's pretty good, but I'm a big believer in, like, I would take the position that your official real address is in Utah or Arizona, and that you were just happened to be living in London, and that was like a temporary address, because we want our I-130 to be pointing somewhere, and then having the I-130 pointing to London for your husband and now Brazil, that's going to be its own special bit of mess. It should all be okay.
Yeah.
The hard thing is going to be, like, you could do the world's best job of convincing USCIS that you are in Arizona and your husband is in Brazil, but when I don't know why this is, but when National Visa Center gets the case,
Sure.
they almost always revert back to original filing locations. It's so dumb.
That is annoying.
Yeah. I mean, I think this will all be, and so as we sit here now, your I-130 has been on file for 11 months.
Yes,
roughly.
that's correct.
Okay. And so you'll be able to hopefully clean up all this stuff on the back end when it gets to the National Visa Center. You're going to want to make sure that when it does get there, that, I mean, you might want to have a lawyer help you, but you might definitely want to have a cover letter that says in really big letters, the husband is no longer in London. The husband is now in Sao Paulo, right? Like yelling it so that they get it, right?
Yeah.
So
we did have our consular processing updated to Brasilia.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. All right. So what's your question for me?
So the second question then is with regards to the affidavit of support that I'll eventually have to submit.
Yeah.
The last 3 years that I lived in London, I was not required to file taxes because I didn't meet the income threshold. I've since come back. Obviously, I'm actually working for an NBA team now. I've got a great job.
Nice.
I was going to explain all of this to them in a cover letter and submit all the paperwork.
What do you mean all the paperwork? What do you mean all the paperwork?
Pay stubs from the last probably 6 months. I'm going to have a cover letter, a letter from the job saying that, yes, I'm employed full time, et cetera, et cetera.
You can do all that, but you're also going to see a CPA and file $0 tax returns for each of the 3 years.
Oh, okay. So I should go back and file for those 3.
Yep. Because if you don't, that'll send your affidavit of support stuff into this other no man's land for 6 or 9 months, and it's going to slow shit down.
Right. Okay. Because I was thinking whether it would be worth. I would like to not have a joint affidavit of support, but I was wondering if that was what I might need to do.
I would say almost assuredly, you're going to need a co-sponsor if you have no reportable income for the last 3 years. I think there's almost zero doubt you'll need a co-sponsor.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Those were my 2 questions.
Awesome. Good luck, Matt. See you, buddy.
Good to see you.
All right. Peace. Princess Lizzie says, Uncle Jim, that background is lovely. You forgot to pack me and the family on holiday too. Let me show you my current view right here. That's the little restaurant. There's our place we're staying over there. I'm sort of in the corner, but that's because I got the last cabana because I was in meetings all day. But it's a pretty nice place, Lizzie. All right. We like it when people work for the NBA. That's pretty cool. Let's go to Profit. Profit, are you there?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Jim?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. And thank you for the good work you're doing for the immigrant community.
My pleasure.
Man, we appreciate you so much, man. I wish I could be in DR with you. It's so cold in Chicago.
Yeah, it's cold in St. Louis too. What can I help you with?
I got a couple of questions. I'm in a situation. I've got my daughters. Okay, they've been here under humanitarian parole, and one of them I had filed for her. It's been like 14 years, but she's up at the NVC. I haven't done anything yet, but my question about her, is there anything at this point that is going to affect her from this point?
So you're saying her priority date is current for filing the 480 for filing for adjustment or an immigrant visa?
Yes, but she is here on the humanitarian parole.
So I think you might need some help. You might need someone to look into this for you to make sure. But I generally think that what will happen is you'll take that approved I-130 and the fact that she was paroled in, and you'll file for adjustment of status for her. When did she enter?
She's been here since 1 year. This past November, she was 1 year here.
And was she
13 months now.
paroled in with any deadline or no?
The deadline will be next November.
So she got a 2-year humanitarian parole.
Yes.
Giddy up. Yep. File for adjustment. Get her a green card.
Okay. All right. Now the second one, her, I was fighting for both of them at the same time, but her petition was denied because I didn't provide the RFE they were asking me on time, so I didn't get it through. So now she's here. My question is mostly for her. What can I do with Trump coming in to get her adjusted here? Can I file a 130 for her?
Well, how old is she?
Oh, they're grown. She is about 38.
Yeah, so that's not going to do anything for her.
Oh, man.
You can do it, but it's going to be that same weight that your other daughters had, and you're starting over from scratch.
Okay, but I was thinking if I file a I-130 for her, if that's gonna help her staying here. And
no, because she's not an immediate relative. That doesn't give her the right to stay. Only immediate relatives get to stay. Spouses, underage children, and parents of U.S. citizens. She's a preference category, which means she has to have some other kind of status. Now, she could, I don't know what country she's from, and you don't have to tell me.
Haiti. She is from Haiti.
Yeah, so if she has a valid asylum claim, you could file an asylum claim before. You could file an I-130 and the asylum claim, but I don't know if you're going to have an asylum claim that's going to last 12 years or whatever it's going to take for her visa number to become current. So asylum or marriage to a U.S. citizen might be her only options.
Yeah, because I filed for TPS for her, but it hasn't been approved yet.
And Trump's going to do away with it, probably.
Man, it seems like she is the one having a the hardest time now, right?
Yep.
And nothing I can do. Wow. Yeah, because I was getting ready to file a I-130 for her along with I-485. So.
Thanks, Prafi. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. How's everybody doing? It sure is nice here. It's nice to see the sun. It's been raining. It's been like Seattle, rainy, and now we got a little bit of snow in St. Louis. So I don't miss that. Thing is, it's going to be cold all week, so I don't know if they're going to even defrost any of that snow. I'm in Dominican Republic, Anarasiri, Dominican Republic. It's pretty nice. Let's go to PD. Hi, PD.
Hi. Good day.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
I can barely hear you. Can you hold up the mic to closer to your mouth?
The volume is all up. Is
that's
it
better.
better?
Yeah, that's better. What's up?
All right. So I have this case where I have a I-751 pending. I recently got a divorce, and another issue is that I have criminal charges against me. So I'm like in a mess right now. I don't know what I can do.
What was the start date on your green card?
All right, so I got it in 2021.
And when you married that person that got you your green card, were you in status or were you out of status?
I was out of status.
And for how long?
For a few years.
And you had come on what kind of a visa? Visit visa?
Yes.
Okay. And then what was would you say it was 2021 when you got your green card?
Yes.
And then you filed a joint 751 in 2023? And that thing's still pending?
Yes.
Okay. And then if I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, when you filed the joint 751, with 1 being we had very little evidence and 10 being we had a shitload of evidence, what would you say?
We had a lot of evidence.
A lot of evidence? Okay, good.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I had a lawyer, but because it has caused a conflict of interest, he had to drop
Yeah.
me.
Right. Well, he had to drop both of you. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So okay. When did you? You're not living together, and did you say you're legally divorced now, or divorced?
Yes, yes, we're legally divorced.
Okay. When did the divorce proceedings start?
It started September
Of 23,
24.
24. So even after you got your green card, you're married a year and a half.
Mhm.
Okay. And then, do the criminal charges involve your ex?
No, it's homicide of vehicular homicide.
Oh, yeah. I think did you email about this?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So we've had a couple manslaughter cases. I don't think that vehicular manslaughter is a bar from getting your 10-year green card. I think they might look at you a little bit more carefully. Was there drinking involved, or was it just an accident?
It was just an accident.
Yeah.
It's a misdemeanor. I mean, at one point they said it was a felony, but it was like back and forth until right now it's a misdemeanor.
Have
And
you?
today's actually the anniversary of when it happened.
I'm sorry.
It's been 3 years
I'm sorry.
going through hell.
I bet. Is the criminal case over?
No, it hasn't. It's barely started and it's 3 years now.
So you and your defense attorney are still sort of fighting with the prosecutor about how this should be charged and like what what effect it's going to have on you, right?
Yeah, it hasn't gone to that far as yet because the only thing was arraignment, like in December.
A remand?
Arraignment.
Arraignment.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long? Because of COVID or what?
I don't know. There's nothing to say why it's taking this long.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 solid years, January 7th.
I mean, whenever someone has a criminal charge and they're an immigrant, they should always talk to an immigration attorney at the same time so that whatever they plead guilty. So your criminal defense attorney should be talking to an immigration attorney to make sure that whatever you plead guilty to doesn't render you deportable.
Okay. So what?
The 751 should get approved either way, as long as it's a valid marriage, right?
Mhm.
I guess on that note, if USCIS came and knocked on your spouse's door and said, "Hey, was your marriage to PD legit, or was it just to get PD and immigration benefit?" What would your spouse say?
It's definitely legit.
Okay.
Mhm.
So was the divorce friendly, as it were?
I mean, he didn't want to sign the document because I was the one who pushed for it. He never wanted to sign.
Okay. All right. Well, it does sound like you've been through hell. What question do you have for me?
All right. So, is it only a dismissal that will put me at a possible?
I can't tell you that because analyzing the intersection of state criminal law and federal immigration law is the most complicated thing other than deportation that we do. But you're always looking at deportation. So there's 50 different states, which means there's 50 different criminal codes, which means that each time someone has a scenario like you, we have to analyze the state criminal statute and what they're trying to get you to plead guilty to versus the federal definition of what's an aggravated felony, what's a crime involving moral turpitude, what's a deportable offense, so that if and when you plead guilty, you know what the consequences are, whether you're going to be able to still get your 10-year green card, whether you're eventually going to be able to become a citizen, or whether you're pleading guilty to this results in you getting deported. Overall, I don't think you're going to get deported for this, but I would never tell you that over a YouTube show without like being the lawyer and analyzing it and talking to your attorney and all that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's so nerve-wracking and everything. being
Yeah, I get
charged.
that. I get that. I get being I get it being nerve wracking, but at the end of the day, my gut tells me that you're going to be able to stay here. You're going to be able to get your 10-year green card, and you're going to be able to get your citizenship if you do everything right.
Yeah.
And if I didn't think that, I would tell you.
It's still something to live with what had happened.
Yeah,
And
that's a whole other thing. Yeah,
yeah, so also, I think it wasn't, I did change my address. I think I sent in the paper copy first. But then I went to the USCIS case status app where it says there in October that a mail was returned. Um, so after that, I went on again trying to change my address, which it online, but it never accepted it. So I called USCIS and asked them what happened because I did change my address and I did not get a mail. They're saying that they only saw my one address for Georgia because I only lived in one address in Georgia. So they said they're only seen one address for me ever since. So at that point now, I gave them the address again that I changed it to, and I made a request, the e-request. I submitted that, but they said in December I would have heard back from them, like up to the 19th of December, I would have gotten something. But I'm still waiting, and they're still not anything. So I don't know what mail they had sent because my lawyer told me that with these criminal charges pending, there's no way USCIS is gonna approve anything for you, any tenure or anything right now. So I wasn't expecting for them to send anything. So
well,
I'm still
actually,
curious as to.
I'm glad you brought this up because there's another piece that we haven't talked about, right? So let's put the criminal piece to the side. You are now a divorced person with a jointly filed I-751 on file. So
Mhm,
you need to almost immediately file a new I-751 saying I
mhm,
want to be treated as a joint 751 or ask them to convert the old one into the new one.
okay.
I'm not a big believer in trying to convert the old one. I'm a big believer in filing a whole new one, but
Mhm.
that needs to happen. When was the divorce final?
December.
So see if they approve it now, or if they send an RFE and they figure out that you're divorced,
Mhm,
that could be a big problem for you. So regardless of the criminal aspect, you still have to do the regular immigration stuff, which is file your own 751.
yeah, just because the lawyer was saying that it makes no sense to actually do anything because they're
That's
not going to
bullshit.
approve
That's wrong.
anything.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah, I
That's
know. I know.
right
I
now.
also
Right
need
now,
to resubmit.
listen. I'll tell you why it's wrong. Right now, we have a situation where you have a benefit application on file to which you are not entitled.
Yeah.
You're not entitled to an approved 751. So you either again, I'll say it again. What you need to do is withdraw it. Right? What I
Mhm,
would do is I would file a new 751 with all the same evidence and maybe whatever other updated evidence you have,
mhm.
and file a new 751 with that. And then as soon as you get that receipt notice back and that extension letter, then you withdraw the one that's on file because you're in a dangerous time period right now, and that
Yeah.
lawyer gave you bad advice.
Okay. Okay. So what about like the document that I didn't get? Can I submit another e-request again, knowing I
Well, we
never
got
heard from
yeah,
them?
yeah, we have to be worried about. I mean, I wouldn't be that worried about it because again, if I'm your lawyer, I'm filing a new 751 and the old one doesn't really matter, but I'm worried that it might have been a request for evidence to which you did not respond and then your case is in trouble anyway.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right, good luck.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. All right, all right. I'm supposed to call up Panicking Chicken. Hello, Panicking Chicken. Hello. Thanks for the alias. I like it.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? What's up?
Super stressed. So, my I-485 got denied yesterday, um, and I haven't got the letter in the mail yet, nor is it uploaded onto my online portal.
Okay.
However, my work visa and my travel documents were approved last year.
Last week?
Last year,
Last year. Okay.
yeah, in 2024.
Okay.
Currently, I was looking at my spouse's I-130. They have not even looked at his documentations at all, and they've just denied me. I don't know on what grounds. They did ask for an RFE when I first applied, and I did provide the RFE.
What did they ask
Um,
for?
They just asked for evidence of our marriage, which we already provided the marriage certificate, but so we just sent a bunch of photos and then the deed of the property with my name on it as well.
So time out. So at the time of filing, you filed the I-130 with only the marriage license?
No, the I-130, we sent all the required documents. And then when I came to the US and applied for an adjustment of status, we sent all the other evidence as well along with it that were on that checklist.
Your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, he is.
When did you enter and when did you apply for adjustment?
I entered December 2023, and then I applied for adjustment March 11, 2024.
If you had to guess, why did they deny your 485?
I don't know, because I waited for the 60-day window.
Yeah.
And I was past the 60-day window when I applied for it. So I don't know why else they would deny it.
I mean, sometimes they make mistakes. Like one big mistake that they make a lot. Thank you, Whistling. One of the big mistakes they make, and when you see a denied 485 without the I-130 being denied, is, and I assume that when you sent in the adjustment application, you included the I-130 receipt notice.
Yes.
Okay. And just to be clear, the I-130 is still pending?
It's still pending, yeah.
Okay. So when I see situations like, I mean, we shouldn't probably speculate too much. I know you're stressed out, panicky chicken. I get all that. I get all that. But sometimes they deny it and they say, we never got that RFE response. That's what it sounds like it might be to me.
Okay.
Yeah, proof of delivery?
Yeah, we had proof of delivery.
Good.
Yeah. And it's all showing like on the online portal, like all the tracking of what they got and when they got it and everything.
Okay, good.
So all that is covered. That's why I'm confused about why I got denied. And then my follow-up question to that is that my travel card and my work visa, is that now invalid because it was denied?
Yeah.
No, brilliant. So I got in touch with one of your lawyers. They're just waiting for me to get this document to send it to them to see what it says.
Yeah. And when you get it, tell them, hey, Jim asked if he could also see it. Say I was on the show and Jim wanted to see it too. And then I can confer with them. And
if I'm reapplying within 18 days, does that reinstate my travel document and my work visa or no?
I would say do not travel.
Yes, 100%.
I would say that it does not reinstate everything. No, you'd have to file new applications for those.
Okay. So I'll have to resubmit everything because I do have a job.
Oh, unless they made a fundamental mistake and we can sue them. If they made a really dumb mistake, then we can sue them. And then what I sort of do is hold my breath while waiting to see what they do after I sue them.
Okay.
And then I sort of treat that EAD as still valid.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, I appreciate that because I do have a pending work visa, pending job offer.
Right.
Of course, it'll all come together at the same time.
Of course.
Literally got the job offer yesterday after a year of being unemployed. So I was just hoping to see what I can do with that, but I guess
I hate to encourage anyone to call USCIS, but on this one, I might be calling them just to see if some kind person would upload it to your portal.
Yeah, I asked them about that yesterday too, and I was told that I have to wait the 7 business days.
Yeah. All right, well, it should be soon.
Yeah.
All right, send it over.
All right, I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Yeah, that sucks. Hey, hold on. We got a new U.S. citizen in the house. Do you want to be on camera or you want to be off camera? You're good? Hi. You're on mute.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How are you, Jim?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Alejandra here, by the way, from Chicago.
How you doing?
So my oath ceremony was yesterday. So I'm like super happy that finally.
Oh, so happy for you. That's so great.
It's over.
How was it?
A little bit emotional, of course.
Sure.
It was nice for the judge. He said like in his case, his father, he moved from Colombia in 1960 something.
Yeah.
So he said, like today for my father, his naturalization ceremony was in September something, 1965.
Wow.
The judge said I was 1 year old, and I don't know if my father will ever think that I will be the one doing this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
like many
Oh,
years later, and say
yeah.
I cannot ask him now what he thinks, but I hope he will be proud. It was a little bit emotional.
That's beautiful.
part.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and it was nice to hear from the other people on the ceremony. Like, it was nice for the judge to be able to empathize with what we go through.
In St. Louis, they read off the names of each person. Did they read off your names?
They did not. We were 112 people.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
From 37 countries.
Great.
So he said, I'm going to say the name of each of your countries. I think that you want to hear that. So I think that was nice. 37 countries versus 112 names. So
Right.
Yeah.
Did you get to go up and take your picture with him or no?
I did. Yes. At the end of the Yes, it was nice. And then right away, I want to request my passport.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had my forms ready, everything. So speaking of our caller that we have few minutes ago, now she had a I-751 being divorced. So it's in this icky situation. That was my situation at some point. So went through you, and again, super professional services, top notch. 1000% worth it. Everybody hire a lawyer, hire Jim. You will be in no better hands than his firm.
Thank you, Alejandro. Oh, we're so happy. Send me a picture, okay, from your ceremony.
Of course. Thank you, Jim.
Congrats. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How about that good news? That's our old friend Alejandro from Chicago. She just became a U.S. citizen yesterday. Can you guys believe that? I should have ended the show with that, but that was something. How about that? Oh, everybody's happy for her. All right, let's go to Elvis. Elvis.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I think the real Elvis, the King Elvis's birthday is tomorrow. How you doing, Elvis?
Good. Yourself?
Good. What's up?
It's good to connect with you here. I have a quick question. So my father came here in the year 2000, and around 2013 he had a removal case. In 2014 the judge issued administrative decision on his case. Recently, I was reading some stuff online, so I emailed the ICE OPLA to see if they could cancel the case, because he has an approved I-130. He married a U.S. citizen, but they've not been responding. So I just want to find out what are our options right now for them to close the case.
How did he enter in 2000?
He came through JFK.
He had a visa?
Yes.
And he's never left?
He's never left, yes.
And you or his spouse filed an I-130 petition for him, and that's been approved?
It's been approved, yes, since almost 10 years ago.
What immigration court issued his deportation order?
I think it was in New York, Federal Plaza. Okay.
So here's the thing. So mostly when we do immigration court, it's in Kansas City. So I'm just going to talk about Kansas City, but
okay.
I'm sure the thing is the same in New York, if not worse. Okay.
Yeah.
So in Kansas City, there are 3 judges and 7 or 9 OPLA attorneys for 45,000 cases.
Jeez.
Which means each judge has 15,000 cases, and each prosecutor has 5,000 cases. 5,000 cases. Just so you know, our whole firm, we open up 1,000 new cases a year, and we have 9 attorneys, right? So it's almost impossible for us as attorneys to get them to use prosecutorial discretion on an open case, right? But here they have a closed case from 10 or 11 years ago. So it's almost impossible. I would say that your attempt to reach out to the OPLA attorney was never going to work.
Wow, that really makes sense now.
Just because of I had a case that went to trial. I had a case that went to trial on a Monday. The government attorney, we tried to get a hold of him almost every day for a month. The judge who was going to try the case on Monday sent us a note on Friday morning saying, hey, I want to talk to both of you at 1:00 just to narrow the issues for the trial. Okay, great. So the government attorney calls me at 12:55 because he doesn't want me to tell the judge that I've been trying to get a hold of him for a month and he doesn't call back.
Right.
He doesn't want to look bad, which is fine. I don't blame him. But he said, Jim, I'm really sorry about that. I had to do that because that's how many cases we have. We just want, so I think your best shot, and of course, prosecutor discretion might be going away under Trump.
Right. Yes.
But even in the last time Trump was in office, they didn't want to do what would happen if they don't dismiss your dad's case, terminate it, then they're going to have to do adjustment for your dad in court. So eventually, at some point in the future, they might agree to reopen it and terminate it so that he can adjust status with USCIS. The one thing I would say is the only way I think this might work is if you find the deportation attorney where your dad's case was issued.
Okay.
Whoever the deportation attorney is now, who handles the most cases in that office, they often have secret ways of getting a hold of the attorneys. And a lot of times it's just, oh, I have a case on Tuesday for Joe Blow. And while I'm there and we're all done, I'm going to say, hey, I've got this other guy. Can we talk about this for 60 seconds? Right.
Wow.
So really, that's the only way I know to do what you want to do now.
Thanks. This really makes sense. And I could imagine New York is probably more people if Kansas has.
Yeah. New York's going to be like, right. Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, Elvis. See you, buddy.
All
right. Let's go to nervous military.
Why? Hi, Jim. Hello. Hi. My name's actually Michelle, and I just want to say thank you for your dedication, even on vacation. I've been following the show for a while.
Sure. I'm not on vacation, but that's okay. I'm working. I'm here I'm learning how to one up my game on the YouTube channel, but that's only in the morning. So, but yeah, I'm chilling. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you. Pleasure to have your services. So, I have a question pertaining to the fact that I am a green card holder. I went straight into 10-year green card because I was married to my husband for over 3 years. It took about 2 years for my process to complete out of the London, UK embassy. So it was a consulate processing. Unfortunately, from the point at which my green card was approved, which was May 2024, he was then sent on deployment in October 2024. So I had a 6-month window, as you get when you have consulate approval, to make the relocation. And by the time that window expired, and also my resignation from my job, we have terrible 3-month notice periods in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can't just quit at the drop of a hat, especially if you have a substantial role. They won't let you leave before 3 months. So all of the relocating preparation obviously took some time. And then by the time I had transitioned, he was already on training for deployment and is now on deployment and for 6 months with the possibility to forward deploy to another location. That's still unclear. So my question is, obviously I'm completely aware that with him being my sponsor, perhaps I have a valid reason for not being physically in the country. Let me just caveat, I have been to the US multiple times since I got my green card approval. So I went and I have my physical green card. I have my social security. I've set up bank accounts. I've got a state ID. So I've really initiated a lot of the life admin to kind of establish myself there. The only thing I haven't initiated is being there full time, more than 2 weeks at a time. I have not done yet. And also I'm still trying to find work.
In the US.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
All of this whilst we've not been able to be together because obviously he was training for deployment and now he's abroad on deployment in a location that is not permitted for spouses. So I couldn't even join him at that base.
Right.
So my plan is to return. I left the US. My last entry was October 2024. after he deployed, and I'm planning to return in March this year. So that will be 5 months since my last presence in the US. I will officially be a green card holder or resident. My 1 year anniversary will be in May 2025. So within my first year, I have multiple entries, but I don't have a long-term stay. Now, my concern is if he forward deploys, I don't want to live in the US on my own. Obviously, that's not why I signed up for it. But more than anything, if I'm still not working in the US, it's a very expensive place to be on a military salary, as you can imagine.
Hold on a second. Hina, can I pull you up on screen? Hina, there she is. Hina, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. Do you have any insights here into what nervous military wife's asking about?
I missed the last part of her question.
So she's wondering, well, what I want to know is, can we do for her what we did for you? I think we can, can't we?
I think so.
Yes.
So. It depends what branch of military, and I think I can resend the package that I had given it to Andrew.
Yeah.
You can look.
Yeah. Nervous military wife, I believe there's a way that you can expedite your citizenship.
Oh,
right.
As
faster than 3 years?
Yeah, because you're married to someone and they're not necessarily even have to be deployed, but yours is. So yeah, Hina, go ahead.
Is she gonna leave with him? Is she gonna deploy with him? I think that's the key. She has to be on his orders.
The current orders that he has are not. It's not a family-friendly base. So there's accompanied and unaccompanied deployments, and this is an unaccompanied deployment.
Did you say that he might have another deployment in the future soon that would be family-friendly, or no?
We don't know, as you don't get a lot of information on these things. So his forward deployment could be family-friendly or it could not be family-friendly. We just don't know at this point. But I can certainly confirm that the current deployment is not accompanied at all.
Okay, so your concern right now that's making you nervous is what, about having enough time in the United States, or like blowing your green card because you're gone? Exactly.
So I'm obviously conscious of the fact that the Customs Border Officer, he may not care that my husband is deployed. Ultimately, I'm a green card holder, so I have the responsibility to maintain my status. I'm kind of keeping that black and white perspective in my mind, and that's why I'm returning. And I'm returning within 5 months so that I don't trigger any 6-month red flags. If I am asked at the border, why have I been out for an extended period, I'll just say I've been with family while my husband's deployed. Usually get some grace because of the military.
I think you would. Have you thought about a reentry permit?
I have, and I've looked into the lead times. I mean, it's currently 14 months.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
now, okay. How about this? You know, I'm not a big, or you might not know, I'm not a big fan of expediting, but this would be one I'd be willing to file a reentry permit on and then try to hit them hard to do it fast. What American city are you most connected to?
Florida. That's where my father-in-law is. We use my father-in-law's address as like a central address for all of our official documents because obviously my husband relocates a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think that I would either think about a reentry permit, or I would think about still doing what you're doing, making sure you're not gone for more than 6 full months. So such time as he deploys together, and then once he does, you can go with him, then do the citizenship route.
Right. Okay. So if I contact your office via email just to inquire about re-entry permit expedite.
Yeah. Just say, I'm Jim. I'm nervous military wife. I was on with Jim at about the 50-minute mark on Tuesday.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much. I didn't even think that would be an option. I did want to apply for it on my trip this time because I will be there for 60 days because I'm trying to also accrue substantial time in the US rather than being in and out 2 weeks.
I'm not worried about the 2 weeks so much. I would okay, good call.
Right.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you, Hina, as well. Take care.
Thanks, Hina. All right, we got about 5 more minutes. Just remember, this is the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. We got a big up from Biggs Mill, immigration lawyer, practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. If you have a minute and want to do us a favor, leave us a 5-star review, reviewhackinglaw.com, reviewhackinglaw.com. We would really appreciate it. Let's say hi to Sally. Hi, Sally.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Okay. Do you remember me? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Sally, I talk to people all day long. I don't remember anything.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, the first time I called you, I was half asleep. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Let me read off my questions because then you could just sum it up with one word.
Love it.
My husband did not call me for Thanksgiving. He did not call me for Christmas. He did not call me for New Year's Eve. And he definitely didn't call for the terrorist attack in Louisiana, in New Orleans.
Okay.
Never heard from him.
Okay.
Do you think I'm legally married? My husband submitted the decree for the divorce, but they denied it. So he got another one. The lawyer shipped it off FedEx. They reopened it. Then his brother went to go get the divorce decree for the second time. His brother was there. He wasn't there. So that's illegal, right?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the country.
Nigeria.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head what's legal and what's not in each state. What are you trying to? So, are you a U.S. citizen, Sally?
Yes.
And you've married someone that you're now mad at because he hasn't called you?
No. We went on our third interview. You remember I told you he drank alcohol on the first? You remember that?
No, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
He had a drink before. I'm the lady say, hey, come and do come do your show from Mardi Gras. You remember?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I say, so he was denied the 130 because of that first divorce decree. Then my lawyer got another one, and then they reopened it, but they haven't decided to give him that 130. So legally, I'm not married, correct?
Well, USCIS doesn't necessarily determine who is and is not legally married. You might be legally married and they don't know yet. So are you asking me, Jim, can I withdraw my I-130 petition? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah. Wait, first of all, let me tell you, his brother was there to pick up that second decree. My husband was not there to sign the divorce papers. He was in the U.S. Okay, to come over, I wrote everything down. He wanted me to come over. I told the immigration lawyer, we're working on getting back together, but he has to go to counseling with me. I go twice a month before I move back with him. So the landlord came over and wanted me to sign the lease because he has two guys living there. He had a fight with one, got a black eye, and he want him out. He told him only way I get out if your wife come back in and live with you. I told him he needs to go to counseling. I told him we must, I go twice a month and he don't have to pay. And hold on. His passport is expired. His driver's license is expired.
Sally, what do you want to happen?
Divorce.
Then go get divorced and withdraw your I-130.
I have to tell the lawyer to withdraw it, but I don't want him to know I did it. So you think I should just play it out or just go ahead and get it? Because he called me a ghetto asshole because I didn't want to come sign the lease.
I think he sounds like a piece of shit, and you should send USCIS a letter withdrawing your I-130, and you should file for divorce.
No, I have a lawyer. We have a lawyer.
Yeah. So tell the lawyer you want to withdraw the I-130.
Well, how would I don't want him to know about it because I just don't want no trouble and I'm by myself.
Okay. So I generally don't tell people or help people figure out how to mess with someone else's immigration status. I'll just say this. If a U.S. citizen writes a letter and includes the I-130 receipt notice to USCIS and says, My name is Joe Blow. I filed this I-130. Here's the receipt notice. I no longer wish to proceed with this case, and I wish to withdraw the I-130. He's going to get a notice. He's going to get a notice that the 485 was denied, and the reason the 485 was denied was because the I-130 is withdrawn. So I don't know how he doesn't find out.
So just let it play out. When they come here, go back to his house to see, do I really live there?
I would say no. That all sounds like immigration fraud to me. I would get out of the case.
I can't get in trouble because, like I told on our third meeting, I told him, look, we don't live together because I want us to be in counseling. We love each other. I want us to work on a relationship. His hygiene is poorly. I tried to tell him, you can't take a bath at nighttime. I mean, in the morning time, expect to get into bed dirty, and you've been out working. I can't handle that. So sleep in another room.
Good luck, Sally.
Well, no, I'm getting a divorce, but I just don't want him to find out I just wanted to play out what they're going to decline him, but I don't want them to sit on it like, oh, we know they're going to bust up, they're going to break up. I'm pretty sure he knows we're not going to be together. Because I told the immigration lawyer, he only gave me $150 out of 4 years of marriage, and he didn't have pictures of us from 2022 and 2023 in his phone. And the guy said, no, I want you to press detail. He couldn't press detail because it showed that I just sent him the picture.
All right, Sally, good luck.
All right, he sounded like a piece of shit. So, I mean, he's going to find out I withdrew the 130. I don't care.
I think that's the best play. I would not ever want my name associated with something that I know I don't want to go forward, and I don't want to be approved. I would want to have agency over myself and control over myself, and I would withdraw that case.
Okay. And then what he has to do with Trump coming in office?
He's going to get deported.
Okay. Got it.
See ya. All right. On that happy note, we will end today's show. I don't know how I forgot about Sally. We'll have to remember old Sally next time. That was an interesting call. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to go back and find the old Sally calls. I don't remember someone calling from Mardi Gras, or I guess a husband being drunk beforehand. I guess I remember that. I don't know. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for your help, Hina. We'll be back tomorrow at 2:30 Central. 2:30 Central on January 8th. January 8th, episode 739. We'll be back at 2:30 tomorrow. I hope you all have a great night, great rest of your day, and we will see you mañana. Big up to all the arties, of course. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are